Alrighty then, what's going on there, guys? ETX back again tonight with another video. Tonight's video, we are streaming and talking. All right, let's just wait a sec here and see if a few people cycle in. In the meantime, I'm gonna check something. Take some, pin a couple things in the comments. Okay, just to let you guys know, I'm not monetized yet, so if you wanted to, you wouldn't be able to, because I'm not monetized. If you wanted to super chat, I'm not monetized yet. I am, however, very close to being monetized. I'm a little under eight. Excuse me, I'm a little under 800 subs, and I have about half or more of the watch hour, so I'm pretty close. I do have a lot more content coming up. I have plenty of mask videos to still film, comics to show, uh, other movie prop replicas. Of course, I'm always live streaming gaming, and now I'm starting to just do normal live streams, interacting with chat and things like that. But if you feel so inclined and you want to super chat, you could go ahead and do so over on Cash App at ETX666. I'm going to pin that in the comments, and whatever you want to say, I will just read aloud. All right, and that's what we're gonna have to do in the meantime, until I get monetized. Of course, nobody has to. You could do it during the stream, after the stream, if you want. Up to you. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say about that. All right. So. Okie dokie. Yeah. All right. Let me see something real quick here, people. Give me a minute. See if I could. Actually, if I grabbed a link like this, I don't think it'll work. For whatever reason, don't think it will work. I forget it. I'll just type it. I just leave that typed. Um. Okay. Alrighty. So you can super chat on Cash App at ETX666, and I will read each one aloud. Yes. And then also, I made a Discord server just recently, which I'll also link. So you could, it's also linked in the bio of my channel, but I'm going to drop the link down here. And same thing, if you feel so inclined, go ahead and join that. You just got to do the little, authentication process. And just like with any, other one. And yeah. Who's in here right now, by the way? If you don't mind me asking. Do we have a a mole in our midst? A spy? A sneaky spy? What's ETX gonna say? Oh. ETX is over here. ETX is over there. Oh my god. That's what people do. And the funny thing about that, when I see people saying, he's over here, he's over there, he's over here, he's over there. Well, how the hell would you know if you weren't there too? You know what I mean? I'm live on Verdansk. No, I'm not. But yeah, how would you know where I was at if you weren't there too? Oh, there we go. Wait, what? Oh, these are just old notifications. Yeah, how the hell would anybody know where I was if you weren't there too? Just because you don't type in chat or come up on panel doesn't mean you're not there. People think they're sneaky and they're not. People trying to come over here and sabotage me and infiltrate. From now on, anything like that happens, god damn. From now on, anything like that happens, any negativity, any, ridiculous weirdo trolling, not even going to say anything. Not even going to react. You're just going to be gone. Like they say, he gone, she gone, you gone. And that'll be the end of that. And not just here. I'll make sure to have it on every platform. You want to be petty? I'll be petty. Yep, that's how that's going to go. Anyhow, LCU. And yeah, it doesn't really matter how many people are, watching live because again, I didn't put any notice for this. It's also late. It's the eve of 4th of July. Well, actually, it's the 4th now. So, happy Independence Day. All right. Yes. Happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July. But yeah, I was starting to say. Oh, yeah. So anyway, yeah, the LCU Local Universe, starting with Local Live. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk about. Oh, that's what I was saying. It doesn't really matter how many people are watching live right now, but there's always the playback, and those stay up if I keep them up. But there was no notice of this and it's late, so and well, it was the eve of the 4th of July. We're in the 4th of July now because it's after midnight here in Illinois, northern Illinois. But yeah, next time I don't have a set schedule of shows or anything like that yet. But I'm gonna put more of a notice up, at least like a couple hours, if not longer. So that way people have time to a bit of a notice. Anyways, so I don't know if I'm going to talk about the entire time or how long I'm going to make this or what, but I'm just going to briefly go over some stuff, summarize some stuff of my experience in the LCU over the last 7 months. So first off, I didn't even know who Keemstar. I mean, I know who he was, but I never watched his content or anything. I've heard the name and I was aware of Drama Alert, but that's about it. as far as drama stuff goes, I'm new to the drama universe, here on YouTube. That isn't the type of stuff that I watch. Even now, I still don't know exactly why I watch it. And it's kind of funny because once you're out of, if you don't watch it for like a day or two, and then you go back and watch, you're like, why did I watch this to begin with? Especially the playbacks. Like it's a little bit different live. And there's a difference if you're watching live and then commenting in chat and you're having conversations with chat and stuff like that. But if you take that out of the equation and say watch a playback, it's completely different. Like if you just watch the replay of the live stream, it's kind of like you can really, and then if you're not engaging with anyone, you could really spot things a lot more clearly. I mean, I can already pick up on a lot of things pretty easily anyway, but especially on the replays, you can definitely tell when somebody's acting or overacting, and like it's it's pretty cringy actually. Um, and then you just question to yourself, why the hell was I watching this in the first place? Um, but the type of stuff I like to watch, like I'm like stuff on my channel. I'm into comic books. I'm into horror and sci-fi and and then like action movies, like sci-fi horror, fantasy stuff like Matrix and just things like that. Aliens and space and astronomy and science and like nature and conspiracy theories, true crime, the pyramids, all sorts of stuff like that. So the drama community is like the last thing I was watching on YouTube, unless whatever. Uh, and I only became aware of it because of uh, Michael Green, kid behind a camera, Angry Grandpa's son. Um, That's how I was introduced to the LCU because I couldn't recall like an exact video or anything like that. Uh, but because I've been watching Mike's videos for like over a decade. Uh, you know, it started with Grandpa, of course, and then Grandpa ended up passing away in 2017. I started watching, I think in I don't know 2014 or 2015. And then, of course, I knew who Tina was, uh, and stuff. And actually, the very first video, I want to say it's the first video I ever saw, and I actually remember um, the very first Angry Grandpa video I ever saw was the Mentos and Coke video, which was also, I think that might have also been on the 4th of July, I want to say. Which I think I may be confusing them, so don't take my word for it, but I think the Mentos and Coke video was also on the 4th of July, and that it was also Tina's first video, I think. I could be wrong, but I wanna say that because he was on the or they were on the deck and doing whatever, and then Tina was yelling and stuff, and they started yelling at each other and, like, throwing shit back. Maybe, I don't know, there's so many videos, it's hard to keep track of what's what, but, yeah. So yeah, I still watch Mike's videos. I watch his vlogs, and throughout the years, and even still now, I watch a lot of the old videos in between. And people literally make movies of the videos, like Angry Grandpa movie, part one, part two. And these movies are like 10, 12 hours long and stuff. Because he's been doing videos since like freaking 2006, 2007, whatever. But that being saying that to say that that's how I was introduced to LCU through Mike because he was talking about. Hold on a second, Thor. What do you got there? Now that summer, like little spiders and stuff are coming around. What is it, honey? Look out! Look out! Okay, leave that alone. Leave that alone. Fucking earwigs, bro. Of all things. I hate them. God damn it. honey? Where's this disgusting thing? Fuck, where the hell did it go? Yeah, where is it? Where is that disgusting thing at for? I'll be back in a minute. How the fuck does it disappear that fast? What the hell? Where'd it go, Thor? What the fuck? It was just here. How the hell? Here, look out, honey. I don't want you to buy that thing. Bite. What? How is it gone, bro? How is that possible? Man, fuck. Where is this disgusting thing? Where is it, Thor? Here, look out, honey. I don't want it pinching you on accident. What in the world? How the fuck did this thing disappear? It was just here. What the fuck is going on? I'll be back in a minute. Since it's been warm out, I haven't really had too many critters as far as insects, but just typical stuff, little spiders here and there. There's these tiny, tiny, almost microscopic like beetles that come around. But in the last couple weeks, I've been getting look out, Thor. Been getting fucking earwigs of all things. I fucking hate earwigs. There's only a few bugs that make me cringe, and you find it? I don't understand how this thing just disappeared like this. It was just here a fucking minute ago. How is it gone? It's disgusting. It was just on the carpet. Where'd that nasty thing go, Thor? Dude, this thing has to be here. Ain't no way, bro. This fucking thing, like, just vanished. I'm gonna have to end this fucking stream. Oh, sakes. You can fast forward through this one if you want on the live play, on the replay. God damn. Anyway, dude, been getting fucking earwigs. Been getting earwigs, and I fucking hate earwigs. They're disgusting. There's only a few insects that really, really make me cringe. Roaches, fucking maggots, and earwigs. That's pretty much it. Where'd that little bastard go, honey? Huh? You see that disgusting thing, you come and get daddy, okay? I just don't get it though. How the fuck does this little bastard just disappear? Oh shit! Look out, Thor! Fuck! Finally, here. You want to see fucking disgusting earwigs? These little motherfuckers. I hate them. Look. Oh, God damn it. Yep. I hate them. Oh. Sorry, Thor. I didn't mean to startle you. God damn. Fuck. Oh, man. So fucking disgusting. Why do they exist? Why do they exist? For what purpose, bro? Ugh. Just my whole, you get that feeling where it's just like ugh, through your whole fucking body. God bless it, man. God, you know what I'm talking about? That just like it like shivers through like from your all the way up your legs through your whole fucking body. You're just like, ugh. Well, there's some entertainment for you, okay? God damn, I hate it. Yeah, there's only a few creatures that make me cringe like that. And earwigs are one of them. Yeah, haircut again. My hair grows so damn fast. Oh, fuck, man. Anyways. Holy Christ. Yeah, dude. Fucking, they're so disgusting. I hate it. Like, what? What possible benefit do earwigs have for planet Earth? I can't think of any. They're just so fucking disgusting, man. Squirmy and those pinchers. And these have been some, that one was kind of small. The ones I've been seeing, like, I'll just be doing whatever, and they'll be like one like that big, all fat and shit, just scurrying up, like in a random spot in the middle of the front room, crawling across the carpet, and only one at a time. Like, where the fuck? There was one in the kitchen sink the other day. Like, I've probably seen and killed like 5 in the last, I don't know, week or two. It's so fucking bizarre. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Making me itch. But yeah, dude. Roaches, earwigs, and maggots. Ugh, maggots are another one. Oh god. Like I remember times where when when we this one apartment we lived in years ago, like there's been times where I took out the garbage and like it was like a rainy night in the summer, like after it rained and really humid. There's been times where I go out to the garbage and the garbage cans are literally covered in like thousands of fucking maggots, and it's just ugh. And I think all it takes, for like an animal or a body to die outside, and like people think that maggots just appear. They come from flies. A fly lands on the body, lays an egg or turns into a larva, and then a maggot, and then maggots become flies, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But I think all it takes is one fly. I came across this video the other day. It was I think it was in Florida, maybe. It was a huge alligator that was dead on the side of the road, and it was about half consumed by like millions of maggots, like millions. Damn, my fucking head itching. Son of a bitch. But yeah, dude, maggots are so. Ugh. Yeah, earwigs. And another thing that used to gross me out are the millipedes, the house ones with like the long antennas and the fucking like curved legs, like they go up, and then those things are disgusting. They're really good for houses though, because they eat other insects and stuff like that, but I don't know. Anyhow, uh so yeah, LCU. So anyway, I came across the LCU because a Mike watching something somewhere, and he was talking about Locale Queens. At least I think that's how I came across it. And I believe that Locale Queens launched in, I think it was December, and I started watching like shortly after. Like I think I started watching the shows like maybe the first week of January or so. That and Locale Live, and at first I was kind of like, I don't know, kind of like a hate watcher. Not really though. It was never serious. Um, like I'd leave a lot of hate comments like, "Oh, this is so cringy," or "This sucks," and shit like that. And like Keem, like early on, Keem like knew who I was, like because he used to read my comments and like talk shit back, and he used to call me like the number one hater ETX, but he was always kind of like joking around. And then like there was one show where like I was leaving good comments, and like he was saying something, and he's like talking about how good the show was that night or whatever, and he's like, "See, even number one hater like ETX is enjoying the show," because I had put some like laughing face emojis or something like that. But aside from that, like I don't know, I never said anything too extreme on any of the shows. Do I talk shit? Yeah. But is it all the time? No. Uh, I've seen people say way, way, way much worse shit than I have, you know? And some people really do like purely hate watch. Like, I don't know. Like with anything, there's the good and bad with anything, you know? Like on Locale Live, for instance. I like I like King. I like Boogie, you know. Uh, but there's a lot of stuff that Boogie does that is just straight up cringy and fucking annoying. Like I said, I like Boogie. He's, pretty entertaining for the most part. Um, Never had any issues with him personally. You know, we've talked in, well, with other people, we've talked in voice chats before. I think the last time I actually talked to him in a VC was like a few weeks back when he was on the way back from Retro Palooza or whatever, and he went on there uh, and had his video on, and it was like a thunderstorm, and him and Desi were driving back, and they were like in the middle of nowhere, and it was like really coming down and shit, and he was just talking with us. And at one point, we were all singing "Take Me Home, Country Roads." Take me home, West Virginia. Like the whole VC was singing it. It was kind of funny. Um, so I don't have any problems with him personally. Um, but there's just sometimes it just gets overwhelming, the screaming, the fake crash outs, and like just a whole bunch of stuff. And and so when I leave comments like that, it's just like you know, I don't know, like there's stuff you like and stuff you don't like, and I comment on both. There's a lot of good comments that I make on the shows, but it seems that nobody ever sees those. Like just while they're be talking, I'll, whatever we're talking about, and I'll leave good comments. And same thing with laughing faces or W's or this and that. Even though I'm not a mod on Locale Live, like I'll still say like, and I'll make it in uppercase letters, hit the like button, get the stream to over 1,000 likes and just shit like that for no particular reason, you know. So if I was a hater or really disliked any of them, I wouldn't say anything like that. I wouldn't leave any good comments. I probably wouldn't comment or engage at all. Definitely wouldn't leave any super chats. Uh, or I just wouldn't watch altogether. And I wouldn't be subscribed and I wouldn't be a paid member, you know? Because for the most part, when they have members only chat on, which is most of the time, you have to be a paid member just to even chat, you know, in the first place, on the live stream. You have to be a green, just to chat in general. Um, and then you upgrade, from excuse me, a band world to a cash cow, so you could get the benefits of the Discord, which, that's a draw for a lot of people because, there's a lot of stuff in the Discord, the voice chats, and then there's the main chat, and then, every so often, like different hosts come in there and stuff. Um, so that's a big part of what I'm talking about here, the Discord by itself. But anyway, yeah, and so, but the thing is with the Discord, they make it sound so great, like, oh, become a cash cow and join our Discord and blah 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 blah. But there's a shitload of negativity in the Discord. It's like it seems like there's a whole range of people in there, different ages, male, female, but it seems to be a lot of kids and a lot of shit talkers. They like live in the Discord 24/7, literally. Like while I was still in there, periodically I just check it throughout the day. I might put a message in the main chat. Mainly, I just put pictures up of Thor, and I'd be like, LCU pet check, and I'd put a picture of Thor. I'm like, Thor says hi, and then a few people would post their pets and stuff, and that's about it. Or like a PC desktop setup and shit like that, or just commenting about regular things. But a lot of the time, doesn't matter what time of day I would or what time of night I would just happen to go in there just to look around. And like you always see the same few people like constantly. And it's weird because and they're like big shit talkers just in general. And shit starters. And the weird thing is though, a lot of these names that you'd continually see on a daily basis, no matter what time you go in there, which is pretty fucking weird if you think about it. These same names that you see all day, all night, every night in the Discord, talking all kinds of shit, just being weird in general, but you never see those names on any live stream in the chat or in the comments. A lot of what these people do, I call them Discord trolls because they're or Discord gnomes because that's what they are. They're literally in there 24 hours a day. They live in Discord. Anyways, and I've noticed this before because what they'll do is they'll watch, say, Locale Live. They'll watch it live, not comment in the live chat, but have Discord open and be typing away in the fucking Discord. So, in other words, chatting about the live stream, but in Discord main chat, you know? Uh, so that would explain why these names that you see constantly, you don't see them in the actual chat on the shows. I mean, do what you want to do, but it's just bizarre. So that's one thing about the Discord. Um, yeah. And it's like, so the 7 months or so that I've been watching, I feel like whoever's in here now is an LCU troll, but that's fine. I don't really care. Unless you say different. Not that that means anything, unless I know who you are, but whatever. Anyway, though, so well, let's see, what was I saying? So yeah, Discord just in general, it's, I don't know. There's good stuff in there. You know, you get to interact with your hosts that you like and stuff like that here and there. Some are more active than others, you know. But it has its downside too, like I said, you know. Most of the drama between people, other members, is in Discord, you know. There's a lot of toxic people in there and a lot of negativity. And they say they want to try and make it safe and all this bullshit, but dude, I've seen people that I've even been in arguments with saying the craziest shit, like comment after comment after comment. Like, people want to be so tough in these comments, and I'm like, I'm not even taking it seriously. Like, the one person I was arguing with, I literally didn't call them a name. I didn't say anything, and they were like, every other word in their message was like pussy and bitch. Okay. uh I just thought it was funny, and then because they're saying all this shit, like literally like dozens of messages like this, right? And whatchamacallit, I didn't say anything to them like that. And I'll even say the name. Who the fuck was it? Oh my god, I'm having a brain fart. Damn. I would totally say the name, but I can't think of it offhand. You're so irrelevant. You're so irrelevant. I already forgot. But anyway, it was the same person that was always talking shit on me for whatever. There's like a small handful of people that would always do that, and like, it's funny because these people, the small handful of people that would be talking shit on me all the time, I would have Thor as the zoomies. I would have no interaction with them, like, at all. You know, like none. Don't know who you are aside from seeing your name, talking shit about me, and that's about it. You know. Uh, um, but yeah, it seems like all these people know who I am, but I don't know who they are. And I think the only reason that, as a viewer, the only reason I'm seems like I'm like targeted sometimes is just because I'm more well known because, well, Keems mentioned my name I don't know how many times. I've gone up on I don't know, a few of the shows. I've been on live a couple times. I've been on Queen, excuse me, on Queens. I don't know how many times with Becky, Tina, and Michael. Um, I think I went up on Milkers like once. I don't know, but I've been on the shows quite a few times. And on Keem's last rant about me, I'll get into that a little bit, but one of the things he was saying was how boring I am. Oh, every time I saw him on panel, he's so fucking boring, just blah 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 blah, whatever. But and then I left a message. I actually put it in a $20 super chat, the last super chat I've ever sent to the LCU, and I'll probably ever send to LCU. But I'm like, Keem, I'm a viewer. I'm not an intern. I'm not a host. I don't work for you. When I go up on panel, it's to talk to the host and it's just to hang out and talk to the host about whatever we're talking about. My goal, I don't have an ulterior motive going up on the shows to, bring traffic over to my way or anything like that. It's just to hang out and talk. I'm not trying to entertain anybody. Trying, I'm not, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to entertain anybody. And then I said that in a super chat, and because before that, he was trying to make me look stupid. And then when my TTS was read, I was looking at the look on his face, and I think he felt stupid. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know, because he's like, "Oh, now I gave him a complex." Okay. And it's funny because then I was banned the second time, shortly after that. He banned me once from the Discord. He drunk banned me, which I'm not getting into right this second. I'm just mentioning it. But Keem drunk banned me and then unbanned me the next morning. And then that following Monday is when he started talking about me at one point. He went on you know what? Fuck it. I'll just talk about it now since I'm already talking about it. So real quick, a little backtrack. He said that if anybody, so Becky quit and Roxy quit. I've been watching Queens since the iteration of Queens, shortly thereafter. I started watching the first week of January, Locale Queens and Locale Live, So I've been watching Becky since then, obviously. And then I also started watching Milkers towards the end, right before Roxy quit. But anyway, Becky and Roxy quit. And I put out this little PSA video. I put it in the chat. I actually put it on my channel here too, and elsewhere. And I've said this other times too. And I'm like, if we've been watching somebody for X amount of time, 6, 7 months, whatever, and they go off and do their own, and we're a viewer of theirs, and they go off and do their own thing, Becky and Roxy, then of course we're going to want to go and see what they're doing, which is what I did. When Becky left and Roxy left, and then Becky made her new YouTube channel, I subscribed and became a member and joined her Discord. So fucking what? Who cares? Even if they are over there talking shit, who cares? Keemstar made his career from talking about other people. Maybe not necessarily talking shit. I mean, I'm sure he did along the way, but the point of it is that he made his career about talking about other people. Drama alert, excuse me, among other things. And that's all they do on their shows is talk about one another and talk about other people. That's all they do. So why he's so threatened by Becky is beyond me. I could understand if it was somebody like the other people that they Voldemorted, like Grace Thorpe, for instance, because she's highly unstable and crazy and doing stalker type shit, actively live streaming, going to fat camp, uninvited, lurking around the property. They're fucking weirdos, her and her dad, 100% incest relation, whatever with all that. And then whatever else she does online, trying to, actively take down the LCU and things like that. If that's what Becky was doing and, viewers of Becky, then okay. But if she's just over there doing her own channel, doing her own thing, her and Roxy, and barely even talking about the LCU, and if it is brought up, it's not like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this to take time. It's not even like that. They're all still friends online. That's the other thing. It's how are you going to ban people? How are you going to split your viewers, paid members, by the way, and ban them off of your Discord server that they paid to get into and to be a part of, just for subscribing and being a member on somebody else's channel. Like, who fucking cares? Like, they barely even, the LCU hasn't even barely been talked about, you know? Uh, so again, I don't know what he's so threatened about. Um, and the other thing is like, and so anyway, Keem around this time, he never made anything official at that point. I saw since then he did, but at that point, he just briefly mentioned it in chat, on the main chat on the LCU Discord one day. He was saying how he didn't want to and he doesn't like this, blah blah blah, but he might have to Voldemort her or whatever. And like, so anybody that's in her server won't be allowed in their server, but nothing was made official. It wasn't in the announcements. He never made an official post, an official video at that point and stuff. Uh and and so anyways, and so he drunk banned me that Friday night. This is like 2 weeks ago now, I think. Uh and then unbanned me in the morning. And then that following Monday is when he saw me in chat. Which by the way, I wasn't even talking shit. I was just watching and commenting. And then he's the one that came at me. He's like, "Oh, why is ETX?" He's like, "Why are you even in here?" Uh, like, what the fuck, And by the way, when he unbanned me the following morning, he drunk banned me Friday night, unbanned me the following morning, Saturday, but he didn't tell anybody. He didn't, not the mods, not anybody. I figured it out, like, I think at some point on that Saturday, but I didn't say anything as well. I didn't say anything in Discord. I didn't comment anywhere or anything like that. But anyway, so I was watching that Monday and I was just commenting, like I normally do. And that's when he came at me, when he saw me. He's just like, "An ETX, why is ETX even in here?" Right? And then he goes on this little rant about me. And he's saying how, like, well, first off, he never says my name right. And a whole bunch of people always notice that. He's even said it before. My name is ETX. It's 3 letters. It's not that difficult. But him with this dyslexia, he always says EXT. EXT, why are you even in here? Why is he even in here? And then he goes on this little rant about me. And that same night that he drunk banned me, I was pissed off. I was pretty pissed off, And that same night as when I went up on Becky's panel. And before I even went up, or was it the night before? No, I think the night before I was watching. It might have been Becky's first show on her new show. And before I even commented my first comment, I knew by just saying hi or whatever that people are going to go ahead and run to Keem. I already knew that because people are fucking weird, and that's what happened. Like, of all people, who was it? It was either maybe Pokey. It was either Horse or Pokey Gaga. It was one of the two. And I saw him comment on live or something. Yeah, I think it was in live. He's like, he added my name, at my name at ETX. ETX is in 2 places at once. I'm like, what the fuck? And I want to say it was Horse. Or I think it was either one of the two. I'm like, what the fuck? What's that about? Because I don't even talk to either one of them. I haven't had. Going glitchy here. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have any really contact with any of them at all. Messages, nothing like that. So I don't know why he said that, but at the same time, and then other people said too. Like I saw him putting in the Discord, "Oh, Eric is or ETX is watching Becky." Like, who fucking cares? It's so weird, and it's like, how the hell would you know, uh, if how the hell would you know if you weren't over there watching too? Uh, hold on a second. What the fuck? I just had a brain fart, and I just got distracted. Anyways, yeah, so it's like, how would you even know if I was there if you weren't there too, watching yourself? Obviously, you were there watching, but you're not subscribed or whatever, and you didn't say anything. It's like, just because you're not subscribed and you're not saying anything doesn't mean you're not over there. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we're all fucking adults here. So who fucking cares who's on what server or not? Like, the whole thing is just ridiculous. Um, yeah, like, if you really sit down and think about it, it's just very fucking weird. But anyway, so that happened, and then I went up on Becky's panel that night, and I talked about that, and then I was like, if I'm not let back in the LCU Discord, then I'm gonna make some videos about the LCU. And I don't know if I mentioned it that night or a different night, but I just meant like my experience in the LCU. I didn't mean it like, oh, I'm gonna make videos about Keem and like take Keem down or some shit like that, or anything like that. And I was also pissed off at Tina at the time because she was talking shit on me. Um, I saw her talking like I like okay, when Becky left Queens, I wasn't watching Queens like at all up until like the last few days. Like, I tuned in here and there just to see what they were talking about. But like those shows where like Yo Mama was on and stuff, it was just so fucking bad. It was literally unwatchable. But I saw a short clip of Tina talking shit about me, and I wasn't even watching. I think she thought that I was watching or something, because like somebody mentioned me in the comments. I think they said something about me being over by Becky, but I think Tina saw my name and thought that it was me, and then immediately started like, "Let me tell you something, ETX." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, not even watching, Uh, so yeah, and so when I said that about making videos about the LCU, just my experience as a whole, and like, uh, I'm like, yeah, and Tina, I can make multiple videos just on Tina alone. Oh well, yeah, whatever. But anyway, he blew all that out of proportion, because he's like, "Oh yeah, ETX was on Becky's show," and this is one thing he said. He's like, "Oh yeah, he's like, he never donates here, he never gives memberships, but he goes over to Becky's show and empties his bank account." I'm like, huh? I'm like, first off, I don't really super chat to any of the shows, and especially on Locale Live, because I just feel like, what I'm not gonna donate to a multi-millionaire. Just the word donate in itself, people that take donations are people that need the help. You donate to something. You donate something to somebody that needs help. Keemstar doesn't need help. Despite what Boogie says, he doesn't need help. I mean, he was close to whatever, but and it's kind of funny because he's another one, how as Locale Live went on over the months, I saw people, and it wasn't just me. People saw Boogie's attitude changing a lot. Now that he has some decent checks coming in again, he's like, oh, whatever with that. But so I don't feel the need to donate to a millionaire just so my comment can be read aloud. Like, oh, like, imagine, and there's like grown adults. Like, I could see, like, there's nothing wrong with super chatting. Like, okay, you want your you want your message to be read aloud, and like, it's kind of cool or whatever. But like, for the most part though, like, some of these people that blow like thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars per show, thousands of dollars in a month, like, and like these people that are crowns on shows, who the fuck is gonna what are you gonna pay $500 a month? Like, what are you, nuts? Uh, even if I was a multimillionaire, I still wouldn't do that. Like, why? You're just you know what I'm saying? You're just donating to a multi fucking millionaire, despite what some people think. Also, Keem, dude, he has millions alone, plural, just in crypto alone. Just because Google says one thing, like that's, dude, he has multiple businesses. You know how much fucking money the LCU makes in a month, in a week? It's fucking insanity. But anyway, so I don't feel the need to donate to a multimillionaire, okay, or to people that are well off. Have I left super chats? Yes. Um, but and I did say this in a super chat because I wanted him to hear it and for it to be read aloud, because when he went on this little rant about me, um, one of the things that he kept saying was, oh, first off, he mentioned that he's like, oh, so yeah, so yeah, I go over on Becky's show. I don't donate over here. I don't gift any memberships, which isn't true. I've left I have left plenty of super chat over the course of this, 6, 7 months. I've gifted many memberships, and I'm a paid member on the show to begin with. So, and then for Becky, I didn't donate at all. I might do like during the dollar dono train, like $2, dollar here, whatever. But where do you get emptying my bank account? Like, where the fuck are you just making that up, or somebody telling them that, or what? Because I'm like, I didn't even donate to Becky at all. Where do you get emptying my bank account? Like, what the fuck? Um, and then he was talking about how I said, "Oh yeah, if I'm not let back in the LCU, I'm gonna bury Keem. Oh, I'm gonna make videos about the LCU." He's like, "Do you know how many big YouTubers tried to take me down?" I says, "Like, you're such a fucking idiot," or whatever he said. I'm like, I never said that, dude. I'm like, all I said was, if I'm not let back in the LCU, that I will make some videos about the LCU, meaning my experience in the LCU, like stupid shit like this that has happened. And I'm like, yeah, I can make multiple videos on Tino alone. I didn't, and I was pissed at her at the moment. I'm not now. Uh, and then one thing that rubbed me the wrong way too, he uh in the fucking VC, when he was talking about banning me before he did, um like all these people were tagging me in the Discord, and then he was too. He's like, why are people telling me to ban you? What did you do and shit? And like so many people were replying to it, and so I didn't see all of his messages even in the moment. And like one person, he even like he roasted somebody because they were saying something. He's like, I didn't ask you. I asked ETX, blah blah whatever. Anyway, and then I'm like, what? I don't even know what I said because there was like a few messages. I'm like, Keem, look, you know where I stand on things. I'm like, been here for 6, 7 months, uh, subscribed and a paid member on all the shows, because with gifted subs, I was a paid member on every LCU show, which there's 10 of. Uh, if I was truly a fucking hater or something like that, I wouldn't be even watching to begin with, okay? And like even when I do talk shit, just throughout the show or whatever, it's pretty fucking mild. And it's just like being annoyed by dumb shit, like I said, like, Boogie's fake fucking freakouts and like just doing dumb shit. And like then when he does these little freakouts, he'll emphasize his heavy breathing, to which he's just doing on preset, be like like it's so fucking weird. And I'm like, this is a 51-year-old man, like shit like that, like nothing serious major. Anyways, uh, but anyway, so yeah, so I said that, and then he kept going on about how boring I was, and then I left that $20 super chat because I wanted him to hear it and see it. I was just like, Keem, I'm not. I'm like, Keem, I am a viewer. I'm not an intern. I'm not a host. When I go up on panel, it's not to entertain anybody. I'm not trying to be entertaining. I'm just going up to hang out and talk with, the host about whatever we're talking about. Hang out for 2 or 3 minutes, few minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. And that's about it. I don't have any agenda of, you know, of of trying to entertain anybody and, like bring traffic to my way because I have my own channel. I have my own stuff, I don't work for you. I'm a viewer, dude, a viewer, you know what I mean? A neutral viewer. Like you can watch more than one. Anyways, so I left that because he was trying to make me feel stupid, but I I made him feel stupid. At least the look on his face, he looked like he felt stupid. And then he's like, "Oh, now I gave him a complex." uh, but yeah, it would be one thing if I was trying to be entertaining when I came up on panel, and then wasn't. But I wasn't trying to be entertaining. So anyway, so I don't know. And then so again, this was that Monday. So he drunk banned me on Friday, unbanned me that Saturday morning. The next morning, show was on Monday, and that's when he saw me in the comments, and then went on this little rant, and then I left that comment. Well, maybe that pissed him off or something because like 2 or 3 days later, I went to go on Discord, and it was just gone. I was banned from the LCU Discord a second time. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this shit is so petty. And then he also banned me on the Locale Live Reddit. Not the Queens Reddit, but the Locale Live Reddit. And the post that he picked was like, I put up a clip of when I was on Becky's show, but the point of doing so was to try and show him that like nobody was even talking shit about the LC or whatever. Like I don't know what he thinks, but I was just saying whatever I was saying and shit. And then that was the post that he chose to use to ban me from the. It's like so stupid. Because in reality, I didn't do anything. Nothing I did was bannable. And then I was also a mod on Locale Queens 3 different times. 3 times. I don't think there's too many mods out there that are a mod on any of the channels, multiple times. But yeah, I was a mod on Locale Queens 3 times. And Becky modded me each time. And it's funny too how you could be a fan or just a viewer of one person, but then a viewer or a fan, I don't even want to call it a fan, a viewer of somebody else that, this group of people doesn't like. So you're a viewer of, say, Keem, you're a viewer. But if you're a viewer of Becky who's like ostracized, then you're a Becky simp or some shit like that. Okie dokie. I'm definitely not simping for Becky because she's even said herself, like when I was on panel, like it's like, yeah, you talk shit about me. I'm like, I know, but it's all in joking around for the most part. But the first time I was mod on Queens, on Locale Queens, uh Becky unmodded me the first time, and that's only because we did have a little bit of a falling out. But then I didn't, when I watched the replay of it later on, I felt bad and I didn't like it. And so I apologized to her, and then I came up on panel and like we already made up and everything. And then she modded me a second time. And then the first time also, or was it the second time? I don't I the 3 times that I was mod, I never really timed anybody out or anything. For the most part, I would just type the normal stuff that even when I wasn't a mod, like, hitting the like button and let's get to this or let's get to that, shit like that. And uh I'm losing my train of thought. But yeah, so she unmodded me the first time because I had a little falling out, but then we made up or whatever, and then she modded me again. And then a few people were mod abusing. Okay, because she made in my opinion, she made too many people mods, and I noticed like there was like two of them that were like timing out like a bunch of people, like a lot. I'm like, holy shit! I even said something to the other mods. I'm like, hey, only time people out if it's necessary. Don't time somebody out for X, Y, and Z. Blah blah blah. So I was even saying that to other mods, in other words, without saying it, don't don't abuse, don't mod abuse and shit. And then there was like a select few people that were trying to say I was mod abusing and like unmod ETX, you know, because they're butt hurt for whatever reason. Um, and there was one there was like one night on live. It was I think it was when that little feud started between like all the shows, and like Keem took Queens out of the primetime spot and was doing like a little gauntlet stupid fucking thing, whatever. Um and like there was one video where Keem said to go into Becky's chat and call her a racist. Um and so of course, like the first like 30 minutes live that night, it was nothing but people spamming just the word racist, like all caps, like over and over and over and over and over. Like people have fucking mental problems. Like one or two times, okay, but like dozens of times. And for people that don't know, when you're a mod on a YouTube channel, you could click on somebody's name and see their entire fucking channel activity. You can see everything you say. Um, I don't know how far back it goes, but it goes a ways back. So remember that. Um, next time you want to comment something stupid and then try to delete it or whatever, everything you say stays there. So, um, and then as a mod, when you're looking at somebody's channel activity, you see how fucking weird some of these people are. It's fucking bizarre. Okay. People are fucking weirdos. Anyways, and there was only a few, a few people that I timed out, and I might have banned one or two people, which isn't really even a ban because I don't know if when you ban somebody, like it doesn't say ban, it just says hide user from channel. You could even do it from your own. Well, obviously you're the owner of your channel, whatever. But all it does is hide. So like they'll be saying something and you won't see it. They're not actually banned from the channel. I don't know if anybody can actually be fully banned like that. I don't know. It's weird. You think you should be able to. Um, but I had timed a few people out that were spamming fucking racist, and then one person was like, "Oh, Keem said we can do that." He's like, "Keem said to call her a racist." I'm like, "Okay, if Keem said jump off a fucking bridge, would you go do it?" Like, you're grown adults, and like Keem said, like this is the shit I'm talking about. It's so fucking weird, dude. Like a bunch of little retarded children. Keem said I could. Keem said to call her a racist. Like, okay, all right now. Um, and that was about it. And then I saw a few people that were butthurt. Like one that I could think of in particular. I'll just say the name. I don't give a fuck. Big Show 88 or whatever the fuck his name is. Like, oh god, weird ass. Damn, what was that one name on Discord? Why the hell can't I think of it? I had like his fucking profile picture was like some Star Wars shit, like I don't know, like some fucking Star Wars characters with lightsabers. What the fuck is his name? Holy shit. Having a brain fart, dude. I can't think of it. Yeah, I don't know. He's just so irrelevant. I forgot. But anyway, yeah, there's just a few people. Uh So yeah, and then so a few little handful of people are like, "Oh, ETX is mod abusing and fucking which isn't even true. And then, but anyway, and then and then there was like some falling out with Becky and Keem and shit, right? And to where like it was one of the times where she was gonna quit, and they, I think Becky was gone for like a few days, and then other people were hosting, but then they unmodded. They just did like a mass unmod and unmodded everybody that was previously a mod without actually checking if each mod was mod abusing or not first. They just did a mass unmodding. Hold on, this thing's glitching. Hold on. All right. Yeah, they just did a mass unmodding without actually checking if each mod was mod abusing or not. And it's really easy. It's one click. You could, again, same thing, the owners or whatever, hosts, you can go ahead and just like mods can see any viewers channel activity, the owner can or host can look at the mods channel activity and their mod activity as well. So it's just a couple clicks and you can see what they're doing or what they're not doing, right? But they didn't do that, and they just unmodded everybody that was currently a mod. So then Becky comes back, and then she mods me a third time. And that last time, I didn't do anything. I didn't time anybody out or anything. I didn't, it's not like I just sit there and, I'm not getting paid here. Mods, you don't get paid. This isn't, anyways. So I'm not watching the chat like that, really. I mean, if I see something, whatever. But anyhow, then this happened, and Becky, from what it looks like, quit for real this time. I mean, who really knows at the end of the day? I just think it's suspicious that the main hosts are still friends with Becky on like in Discord and stuff like that. And it's like, how are you gonna ban paid members just because they're in Becky's server when you're still friends with her? Again, how are you going to ban paid members that have been subscribed and a paid member for X amount of time, in my case, 7 months, and just because I'm in Becky's server, I'm going to get banned from your server? But anyway, what else? Yeah, so this time it looks like she quit for real, but again, like I said, I still don't know who. Nobody really does. I'm just skeptical about it, just because this has happened so many times, and Roxy too. It's just the only reason I'm suspicious about it. Well, it's because it's happened so many times before, but also because they're still friends online. And that's what I was starting to say. How are you going to ban a paid member from being in somebody else's server, but yet you're still friends with them and still in voice chats together and text and text chats and shit? It's still in there. Key, Michael, Boogie, fucking whoever else. And Keem, the main one. It's like you're banning people from being part of Becky's server, but you, Keem, are still friends with Becky online. Like Boogie loves to say, make that make sense. Yeah. I don't get it. What's up with that? I don't know. And that's why sometimes I think, well, maybe this is just another, storyline of Keem's. Like, because like as a viewer, you don't know what to take serious and what not half the time. But yeah, like Boogie's stupid fucking saying that a lot of people say, but he really uses that saying like a lot, like per stream. I don't know how many times he says that. But again, how is a host of a show, owner of the shows, gonna ban paid members? Doesn't matter how long you've been there, what you've contributed to the channel, How you gonna ban paid members for being a part of her server, but you're still friends with her online? Make that make sense. It doesn't make sense. Maybe the only excuse I could say is like, well, they're not really checking their friends list like that or whatever, but they're still talking to each other here and there because they're in the voice chat and the host fucking chats and shit. So what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't even at the end of the day, I didn't do anything technically. Well, to them I did, but technically I didn't do anything to get banned anywhere. On Discord, on Reddit, I didn't violate TOS or whatever at all. And then a twist of the story comes. So I joined Becky's server. I subscribed to Becky's channel. I joined Becky's server. Becky, I don't know if you're watching or not. I'm still waiting for a response to a couple messages, but fucking she makes me mod on her channel. I came up on panel a few times. That same night that I was talking about this, that I was banned. They were both drinking that night, Becky and Roxy, and they were both all upset. Roxy was actually crying. She's like saying how wrong it was and this and that. And Becky offered me a show on her channel like multiple times on that stream. It's like, you have a spot here, whatever you want to do, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, anyways, well, it's been about a week now, I think. But about a week ago, I was streaming on my channel, and I was on for 3.5 hours. I was on for 3.5 hours. It was like my first full long stream, since I got OBS up and running and know how to run OBS, and since I got this mic and my headset and everything, whereas before I was just using my phone, but I have a full setup now, which by the way, it took a lot of fucking tinkering to get these fucking settings right. It should be, pretty straightforward, but it's not. I had to watch a bunch of videos, talk to people, go over things, but mainly videos and like step by step, certain settings. And it depends on your fucking computer's GPU and CPU and internet speeds and download and upload speeds, what you're going to put your bit rate on and this and that. Like, it's a lot of fucking settings to get this shit right. But anyway, so I was doing a lot. I was streaming. It was like my first long stream, like I said. I was on for 3.5 hours, and freaking like towards the end of it. Hold on, let me have a vape. This is where the story gets juicier. It's nothing crazy, but it's just, I don't know, dude. There's always the opposition. They're always around. I know their eyes are always around, probably watching now, but I don't care. So, I'm like sitting on my legs. So I'm like sitting up higher a little bit, but anyways, so about a week ago, like I said, I'm streaming, just talking to a couple people. Like literally there was one person that I was talking to the whole time, just about random stuff as I was going along. And then somebody else came in there, and like in the last like 15 minutes or so, maybe last half hour, Shy Souls comes in my chat. Now, I don't know who Shy Souls is. Okay. I've had no interaction with them, never talked to them, never messaged with them, nothing. I saw them pop in chat and they're like, they said something, and then well, first Thick Gemini came in there and he said hi. I didn't see him say that right away. I saw it after when I watched some of it back. Um, but first he said hi. I didn't see him right away, and then like I think it was like a little bit after that, the Shy Souls came in there, and like I said, I don't know who they are. I've had no interaction with them, nothing. And when they first came in, I was like, "Oh, hi, Shy Souls," but then I was like, "Wait, what?" Because I started seeing their comments, and they were being a troll, just being fucking weird. And then it registered. I'm like, "Oh, this is that person that's always like I recognize their I reckon bleh, I recognize their name from the LCU and one of the people that likes to talk shit on me for no particular reason, right?" And they're in my chat spamming a bunch of shit. They probably left, I don't know, 6 to 10 comments within like, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds. And I'm like, you know what? What the fuck? I'm like, you know what? Get the fuck out of here, you fucking freak being a fucking weirdo. That's what I said. And I'm like, oh, and at the time we were talking about my one of my favorite horror movies out there, Creep Show. The poster's right back there. Here, I still have the flashlight from when I was looking at the hold on. Actually, I don't really need the flashlight, but yeah, Creep Show, badass. It's actually just yeah. Anyway, but anyway, so we're sitting there talking about random stuff, talking about Creep Show, and then this creep comes in there. Yeah, and that's what I said. I'm like, that's what I'm like, you know what? Get the fuck out of here, you fucking freak. I'm like, we're sitting here talking about Creep Show, and you're being a creep. Okay. And then I banned him. I'm like, all right, but first I'm like, is there a reason you're doing this? I'm like, is there a point to this? You know, and I'm like, and then I just banned him. But in hindsight, because everyone's so sensitive these days, I should have just not responded and just banned him. And at first I didn't know if it was a girl or a guy or what. I just recognized the name. Didn't know anything about him. Aside from recognizing their name from talking shit on me, right? So, and right around that time during this, I saw Thick Gemini leave one other comment and he said, "Game over." I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell does that mean? You know? Uh, and then shortly after that, that was like towards the end of the stream, and anyways, and then that was that. I'm like, what the fuck is this about, you know? And then I tried looking up Shy Souls, and either I had already blocked him or he blocked me, or maybe it happened. I don't even know. But like, I, because I looked him up in the Discord, and I don't, I'm trying to think, did I see him first before I blocked him? Whatever, disregard what I'm saying. I think I don't know. I might have already had him blocked because of other bullshit in the Discord before, just talking shit on me, for no reason. Um, but anyway, so Gemini left those two comments, which I thought were strange, or the one that said "game over," like, and I asked him, "What are you talking about? The fuck does that mean? What's that supposed to mean?" He didn't say anything. And then it's weird because just earlier that day, or the day before, because I was friends with Gemini on in the Discord. He like the previous days I was asking him questions about fucking computer shit, OBS and Discord and different settings and stuff like that. And like the last message that I sent him, or one of the last, I sent him a picture of my cat Thor, and he hearted it and said cute. That was the last message I had from him. And then I saw him in the on my chat, Like I said, I didn't see he said the word. I didn't see him say hi right away until I watched the replay. But then he might have said something else. But all I saw, the strange comment. He said "game over," and that was right around the time that Shy Souls was in there when this happened. So whatever. I didn't really think anything of it. And the next day, I go on. I just woke up. I was looking at my phone. I opened Discord and I see a couple messages from Becky, and I'm like, "What?" And it was funny. Before I even opened it, I had a feeling something was wasn't right. Anyway, she tells me that she's like, she's telling me that she's gonna have to ban me from her Discord now. I'm like, what the fuck? Because of my what the hell did she say? I could read it. I'm not going to, but basically, in other words, of the language of things that I was saying in my stream upset a lot of people. And uh some of her moderators sent her some clips from my live stream and yada yada yada. I'm not going to get into everything, but she's like, yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to, ban you from the Discord stuff. I'm like, okay. Now we've talked since then and everything, and she still is offering me a show. Could be later, but at this point, I don't know, or even if I want to do one. And the person that was mentioned, like, I haven't. I'm getting a little ahead of the story here, but the person was mentioned. Like, I've had no, like, I don't even. I mean, I know who they are just from seeing them super chat and in the comments and stuff like that. But personally, I've never talked to them, messaged them, nothing. And this particular person I did see on panel since then, and like, it's just not going to work. Like, from what I've seen anyway, they're too, like, shy and quiet and stuff. Like, I I don't think that would. I mean, whatever. So I don't think that would work. I mean, from what I've seen so far, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know about all that. I don't think so. But whatever. That's neither here nor there, really. Um. Uh. In fact, Becky is still behind on messages. I know she gets a lot. I know she does, but and then, like, it's like sometimes, like, a few days will go by, and during the course of those days, different stuff is going on, but then by the time she goes to read it, there's like, X amount, and it's like too much. So I just deleted a bunch of them. And as far as I know, when you delete a message on Discord, it deletes for both people. It should anyway. And so I deleted however many, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna send you a couple of voice clips summing some stuff up, and then just get back, just listen to it and get back to me, when you can or whatever. And so I narrowed it down to two, just summarizing some stuff. But anyway, and then we talked after this since then, but I haven't talked to her since then, and I'm still waiting on a response from the other messages. But anyways, so she bans me from her Discord now and her Reddit, and unmods me from her channel when I didn't do anything that was bannable to begin with. I never said any, like, this was totally. Oh, and this is the thing, because I called the person because I said, "Get the fuck out of here, you fucking freak." I'm like, "You're being a fucking weirdo." I'm like, we're talking about creep show and you're being a fucking creep. Well, some people clipped that and sent that to her, and were crying about it, like and the person, Shy Souls, okay, because they happen to be gay. And so it was taken out of context, like I'm calling them a freak because they're gay. I don't give a fuck what you are, blue, green, alien, fucking whatever. I don't give a shit. So that was all taken out of context. And then, I try and keep any, like, negativity away from my channel. That's not what my channel's about. I'm not about drama and all that. Like I don't even like the fact that I'm really making this video. My channel is for, you know, masks and comics and collectibles and fucking movie prop replicas and gaming and fucking, shit like that. I'm also really big into abandoned exploration, which I want to get back onto this channel. Other things like that. That's why I changed the name again. It's ETX Prime now because this is the prime hub for everything, and it's not that way. It's not segregated to one genre, because YouTube, not to go off on a side rant here, but YouTube is very segregated as far as categories of what your content is. So at first it was ETX masks because it was just masks, but then I wanted to integrate comic books and collectibles and movie prop replicas and live streaming gaming and just live streaming in general. So I changed it to ETX collectibles because that falls under a wider umbrella. But now, like I said, I want to get back. I want to do more gaming and gaming with commentary on the PC, on my PC, and more live streaming, just live streaming in general. And then maybe other things as well, like abandoned exploration, which I've done multiple videos on different places of different properties I've come across. It's just not on this channel. And instead of making a new channel, like, I thought of calling, I'm in Illinois, Northern Illinois. I thought of calling it Abandoned Illinois. Or if I started going other states, I would name it probably uh, Abandon America or something along those lines. Anyhow, that's getting off track. So I renamed the channel ETX Prime, and I put out a short about it, about the channel name, channel change, rebrand, more or less. Anyways, yeah. So okay, so I got sidetracked there. So yeah, she did that. Blah blah blah. Bambi on the Discord, on the Reddit, and then we did talk after those messages, but I haven't talked to her since then. I'm waiting for her to respond to my last couple messages, and I don't know. Just overall, it's like I don't even care anymore. Really, it's like if I get back in, fine. If I don't get back in, fine. Same thing with LCU Discord. Like, I messaged one of the mods just to see what happened the second time. And, it's just because I'm curious. And actually, being out of the LCU Discord for like this week or whatever is actually kind of refreshing. Like, because there's just so much fucking BS in there, But anyway, back to the what happened on my channel. So this whole thing was like taken way out of context. They were turning it into like I'm over here ranting about hate speech or something, like fucking promoting anti this, anti that, and like I don't know, like I'm a bigot, like they act like I'm doing Hitler speeches or something. When it was literally isolated incidents, and all I was doing was defending myself in my own chat on my own channel. And even then, I never said any slurs, said anything anti whatever, nothing like that whatsoever. Did nothing bannable. Didn't do it on my own channel, let alone anywhere else. Not on Becky's channel, not in her chat, not in the comments, not on her Discord, not in the Reddit. Same thing with the LCU. Same thing. Not on my channel, anywhere. It was taken out, it was clipped, and like, oh, Becky, look at this. It was taken out of context. Just like the shit with Keem, except he added a bunch of shit to it that I didn't even say. So, but it's just ridiculous. And then one other thing that she mentioned was like politics, and that's what I was starting to say. Like, it's on my channel and anywhere, and just in general, because there's three main things that always start arguments and shit between people, even wars, and that's uh politics, fucking, and religion. What was the third thing? I think that was it. Politics, religion, And like, I don't know, what the hell is the other thing? Sexual orientation or something? I don't know. Why can't I think of it now? But anyway, yeah, there's like a few things I try not to talk about. Yeah. Politics, religion. I don't know, dude. But anyway, nothing like that was said on my channel. It was just taken out of context and basically like, oh, I called Shy Souls a freak because they're gay. It didn't have anything to do with that. And then uh come to find out it was Gemini that set this up anyway. With Shy Souls, which I figured it was a setup anyway, just because of how random it was. So I could already tell that, like, and after I had a minute to think about it and stuff, and I was re-looking at the chat, it was 100% set up. He sent her over, or he sent him over there, uh, to do that, right? And shit. And like I said, when I saw it happening or after the fact, I'm like, it looked so intentional. And and I'm like, why what did I do to fucking Gemini? And he was like mad at me because the guy Life with Ron, who is also gay, and Gemini is gay too. Uh this whole thing is so stupid. It's like, okay, and I'm just going to use Gemini as an example because he's in this. It's like, would I be friends with, if I was anti something or another, would I be friends with you in the first place or even talk to you? Like, come on with this dumb shit. But the guy, Life with Ron, was on Becky's show, I don't know, a little over a week ago. And like, they were joking. Okay, that's fine. They were all joking around. And like, he said a bunch of sexual stuff, like in the comments, like towards Becky and Roxy, like he was like doing donos for Roxy to like eat this pizza, and she was like, and he's like saying, "Oh, lick it," and this and that, blah blah. Like they were just like joking around, whatever. Like who cares, you know? Um, but then he came up on panel, and I also came up on panel like right after that. So at one point we were on panel at the same time, but right before that, he was just saying a bunch of sexual stuff and being weird in the comments, you know? And I said that in the comments. So some people were mad at me for like, I don't know, saying whatever to Ryan. He was mad too, I guess. And I was saying, because I'm like, this dude's a fucking weirdo or whatever. And then like I came up on panel at one point and we were on there together, and he's like, I don't know what he said towards me. He might have said a couple things, but one thing that sticks out, he's like, "Oh, he's adorable," meaning me, right? And I didn't like it, you know. Joking around or not, it's like, I don't even know you, dude. You know, like you want to joke around with them, fine or whatever. But I'm coming up on to talk to Becky and Roxy, and like, I don't like that. So and then I got off a panel like right after. I'm like, all right, I'm gone, and it was more or less joking around. Like it wasn't like anything serious, you know. And then this same night, first it was Gemini, or I think this is what happened. So no, excuse me, not that same night. Sorry, take that back. It wasn't that same night that this happened on Becky's show because that was on a Friday. But so that happened on a Friday. So I guess a few people were mad at me, or Ron was mad at me, whatever. But he was being weird. He was saying all this sexual stuff, and then even when he was on sitting there, he said something about that he wasn't wearing underwear. Like he had a shirt on, but he was sitting there, and he said himself that he wasn't wearing underwear. And that's what I commented on at one point. I'm like, this guy's a fucking weirdo, you know? And then somebody said later on a little bit after about something about standing up. And he's like, oh, because I don't have underwear on or something. I don't know. It was something weird like that, you know? So whatever with that. And so this same night, that's what I meant to say, the same night that I was streaming, before even Gemini was in there, or maybe it was right around that time, because like I said, Gemini, all he said, I saw him say hi, but I didn't see it right away. And then Life with Ron happened to come on my stream, and like I saw him, like he said something, and I was like, "Oh God, Ron's in here." I'm like, as long as you don't hit on me, then we're fine. I was joking around because when I was up on panel with him, he was like kind of doing that. It was still joking around, but when he's like, "Oh, he's so adorable" or whatever, like me meaning me and shit, and I didn't like that, because again, I don't even know you, like again, I came up on panel to talk to Roxy and fucking Becky, and you just happen to be up there, or that's when I might have been in waiting for a little bit, and then that's when she brought me in when he was on there. Anyway, so yeah. But then at one point, and then I said that, and apparently, like I was just joking around when I said that, and like based on the way he was when he was on Becky's panel and like all the stuff he was saying, I figured he'd take it as joking around as well. But apparently he got mad about it and like left Becky's server for like a day or something, but then came back and uh dude, this is like so ridiculous. And then that's when I saw Gemini in there. And then I saw Shy Souls, okay? And then that's when so that happened with Shy Souls, and then I banned him, and that's when I saw somewhere around that time Gemini was like game over. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I didn't hear anything from him since. And then the next day is when I had those messages from Becky saying, based on my live stream and the things I was saying, which again, I don't know, I think she said a lot of people, or I don't know what a lot of people means, but I think it was just Shy Souls and Gemini, and maybe Ron said something, but they clipped whatever I said and sent it to her and made it look like I was like doing, like I was just saying it because he was gay, when I wasn't even sure if it was a guy or a girl or what to begin with. This whole thing is so stupid, right? And I'm like, okay. And and then I go to say something to Gemini, cuz and then I go to type a message, I typed it, and then it's like failed to send message. He unfriended me. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is so stupid. Then then Roxy goes live on her channel. And all I said there was, "Hi Roxy." And then right away, there's a few people in there back and forth. Gemini, them being the main corporate in all this. Corporate? Culprit? Anyway, him being the main one in this, he's like, oh, and a couple other people, like, I don't know, there's like one or two people, and they're like, oh, because Gemini, he tried to ban me, and uh, he tried to ban me just for saying hi to Roxy. Isn't that mod abuse right there in itself? Uh, and then because Roxy starts saying, she's like, like you could go back and watch this too. Roxy's like, Gemini, she's like, don't do that. What are you doing? And he's like, she's like, don't do that. And then he's like saying whatever. She's like, I haven't had any problems with ETX. He's whatever. And then he's like, oh, and somebody else said too, oh, if you knew what he said, you wouldn't be so whatever. And she's like, I don't know. It wasn't on my channel. I don't know anything about it, blah, blah, blah. And then one thing that stuck out that Gemini said while I was still seeing his messages, because since then I blocked him. But Shy Souls too. I think I blocked them both on everything. I don't even know. But he said something to the effect of, everybody that gets banned from the LCU tries to infiltrate and take. He's like, he's like, everybody that's banned from the LCU tries to come over here and infiltrate and take everybody's channel down. I'm like, what the fuck am I reading right now? I'm like, are you nuts? Like, what? And then I said whatever in chat, and I was trying to say like what happened, and like Roxy is thinking that like she's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know anything about it. She's like, she did say, she warned me a few times to not say anything, but I didn't even say what was said, which wasn't anything, by the way. It was not any slurs or nothing like that. I was just trying to tell her what happened. She's like, God damn it, ETX. And then she hid me from her channel. I'm like, what the fuck? So I get banned like back to back to back, you know? And but she's unhid me since then. But I haven't even really been watching her streams too much. Same thing with Becky. Since she hasn't really replied to me, I have been watching, but not fully. But I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You know? And then because like the way, and I guess like okay, but anyway, she like from what people were making her think was like that I was over here saying like you know, like hateful towards this or that and like slurs and all this when I didn't do anything like that whatsoever, you know, because I called somebody a freak or whatever. It's not because they were fucking gay. It didn't have anything to do with it. It's not what I said at all. I said you were banned from the BBU and you was trying to go into Roxy's show and cause commotion. And I compared it to the LCU Voldemort people, so you can't do it. Gemini, look, I get apparently okay. I guess I didn't hear it, but I did. I figured like you were in here, a couple people. Look, I don't even really care anymore. But well, from what I remember, you said something like that, like everybody that's banned from the LCU. Yeah, that's what you did say. Well, that was no, because that was before Becky blocked me. Or yeah, I guess it was right after. But you know what I'm saying? You said everybody that gets banned from the LCU comes over here and tries to like infiltrate or whatever. I didn't block you. What? You didn't block me. I blocked you because you got banned. Well, I know what it was. I think I hid you in Roxy's chat. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Whatever. I hid you somewhere. I don't really care. But bottom line is, dude, it was all this shit was taken out of context, and it doesn't like I could care less if somebody's gay, not gay, fucking green, purple, whatever the fuck, Jupiter. Like I don't fucking care. And this whole shit was just taken out of context. It's ridiculous. I never said any kind of like hate speech or slurs or anything like that anywhere. Not on my channel, not on anybody's channel, not anybody's chat. Excuse me, nothing like that. And then because of the randomness of it, you know, Gemini, fucking it looked like it was on purpose anyways. And then I haven't been watching your streams, but I do tune in to you every once in a while. But and now it looks like something's going on with Shy Souls. He got blocked somewhere else or something. I don't even know. The only hate speech was calling gays freaks and gross callings. But Gemini, see, that's what I'm saying. That's not what I did not say that. I did not say that. I said, oh my God. I called him a freak because he was being a fucking weirdo in my chat. Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Gemini, since you sent them over there anyway. Because this is what it was. You were mad because, and I could see the way it could get misconstrued, almost looking like a pattern because I said what I said to Ron, which was joking, by the way. Like when I saw Ron in chat, I'm like, oh shit, Ron's here. As long as you don't hit on me, I'm fine. And I was joking around. It was because when I don't know how long you've been watching or whatever. When I was on panel with Becky, I was on panel to talk to Becky and Roxy. And I think I was in waiting for a little bit. And that's when Becky just happened to bring me in. But that night, he was saying a bunch of sexual stuff like towards them. That's fine. He can do that. I don't care. And they were joking around, stuff like that. But then I came on and hold on, I'm going glitchy. But then he came on, and I don't know what he said exactly towards me, but one of the things he said was like, he's adorable and shit. I'm like, I don't even know you, like you want to joke around with them, that's fine. But like, dude, I don't like that. And then the last thing I know from him is when he popped up in my chat that night, and I was like, as long as you don't hit on me, we're fine. It was fucking joking around. And And I never said anything what you just said there. It wasn't because he was gay. It was because he was being a fucking weirdo in my chat. And that's what I was starting to say. Because he left like 6 to 10 messages, like one after the other, that had nothing to do with anything. We're sitting there talking about horror movies, dude. And then he's going to come in there with that. So I was pissed off in the moment. I'm like, get out of here, you fucking weirdo, because you're being a weirdo. I'm like, we're sitting here talking about creep show and you're being a creep, So that is not fucking bannable, all right? So if first off, he was sent over there by you, and then those short clips or parts in it were clipped and then sent, and it's like I'm over here like fucking giving Hitler speeches or some shit like that. It wasn't that at all. And you know what? I don't really care. If you guys want to think that, then I don't know what to tell you. But Gemini, if it was like that and also anti whatever, I wouldn't be friends with you in the first place or talk to you or anything like that. And I'm just using you as an example because, you're in this. And I was saying the last time I was talking to you, you were helping me with computer stuff. And I sent you a picture of Thor and you hearted the picture and said cute. Like, I know Becky said keep each other company. What? I know Becky said keep each other company. Be right back. I'm not following you. I know Becky said keep each other company. Be right back. And Rod said that's okay. He's cute. Laugh out. Yes. That could see is weird. I don't know. I don't think you typed that out right. But yeah, I did. If you're trying to say that Ron said he doesn't care, I did see that though. Yeah. And then I made like, which really rubbed me the wrong way. I was debating whether to even do it, but just on the base, I made a short apology video about this, like saying that, like, I try and stay away from any of this negativity and stuff like that on my channel, and I don't say anything like that anywhere, and blah blah blah. And Ron actually commented on it. I think he was the only person that commented on it, and he just said respect. And the other thing is, Becky said her words was a lot of people were offended or something, but nobody said anything to me. Before I took the video down, that live stream I took down, and by the way, it wasn't just because of that. It was because of just at the time, it was just a bunch of LCU talk, and I changed my mind. I'm like, you know what? My channel has nothing to do with drama. I was even like debating whether or not to even talk about my whole experience in the LCU at all. I was just going to like sum it up in one video, and leave it up or not leave it up. But, anyway, the bottom line is all I was doing was defending myself in my own chat. Somebody was being a fucking weirdo, and it didn't have anything to do with anything else. And that was that. And then Ron even said to not ban me or whatever, and that he doesn't care or whatever. And I feel the same way. Like, I don't care. Like, shit easily gets taken way, way out of context. Now, if something is clipped a certain way and like use these three things back to back, then yeah, I can see that. It looks like a pattern and blah, blah. But even then, it's like so minimal that, it's just so fucking minimal. And then what I was starting to say was apparently Becky got all these people that were bothered by it or whatever. And that's why I even made a video in the first place. But I didn't hear anything personally myself. Nobody commented in any of my chats or sent me a message or anything like that. Nobody. Before I deleted the video, it had like, I don't know, around like 200 views or something like that. But if so many people were bothered by it, I would have heard about it. I would have heard about it. Becky left the panel. Wait, Becky left the panel and Ron called you cute, and I agree they can be seen as weird to rub people. But Gemma, it wasn't just that. He was saying a whole slew of things, not directed at me. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did say I was cute, and then when I was on, that's when he was like, "Oh, and he's so adorable" or something. But like all the other sexual stuff, it wasn't towards me. It was towards it was when they were talking, and then like he was donating to for like Roxy to eat the pizza, and she was being like sexual with it, and he was like licking it and all this like. Oh, and then one thing that was weird, and because I said in the comments during that stream, like he's a fucking weirdo, and at that point I didn't know who he was or anything. Uh, like I remember seeing his name here and there, like some of these people. I don't keep track of everybody like that. But he said something about not having underwear on while he was sitting there. Like he had a t-shirt on, but he said I could have sworn, like unless I'm like going crazy, I could have sworn he said he didn't have underwear on. And then somebody in the comment said something about stand up or some shit. And he's like, I don't have underwear. I don't know, something weird like that. But the only thing directed to me was him saying that I was cute and like, oh, I'm so adorable or some shit like that. But and I don't think I said anything after that. I think I said about him being weird was before that. So I don't know. This whole thing is just goofy at this point. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. He said he has no underwear on, and he said he had a quarter. Yeah, I don't know. Like again, most of this shit is just joking around, and that's fine. It's just I don't know, dude. Like it's very easily for people to group up together, and then Gemini, because you were mad about this. I know you sent shy souls over there. Like this was done on purpose, and then it's like because you didn't want to do it. And then I reacted, which is what you guys wanted, and then this happened because of that. But in all honesty, like as far as Discord and Reddit and YouTube goes, I didn't do anything bannable. Same thing with the LCU. What the hell did I do? And the whole in the mind fuck about this is the only reason I'm over here in the first place or excuse me, because this happened. The reason I got banned from the LCU Discord is because I went over to see what Becky and Roxy were doing. And this whole time, all I was trying to do was stay a neutral viewer. Like I've made it's on my channel, my PSA to Keemstar. I'm just saying, like if we've been watching somebody for X amount of time, 6, 7 months, and we're a viewer of theirs, fan, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna say viewer, and then they leave. Then of course we're gonna want to go see what they're doing. Like I don't know why he's so like oop, I'm glitching. She's not like Becky's not like a Grace Thorpe or some psychopath like that. Like it's not that serious. And at the time too, like I said, I don't know how long you've been in here, Gemini, but like at the time too, nothing was made official. Keem just like briefly mentioned it. And it's like, what if you weren't in the Discord when he said that in the comments? Like you wouldn't even know about it. Since then, he's made it official, which is crazy. And this is another thing I said. It's like, are you gonna ban? How are you gonna ban people from being in Becky's chat? How are you gonna ban paid members? Doesn't matter how long you've been there or whatever. A paid member from your stuff for being in Becky's server when you're still friends with Becky online and in group chats and shit like that. And like I said before, I'm like Boogie loves to say, make that make sense. Yeah, make that make sense. They're all still friends and in group chats and shit. So how you gonna ban? What's like what the fuck? Yeah, being a streamer, people get sent to see if you slip up, and I admit it. I told him to say happy pray. It wasn't just that though. I don't know if you were watching. Like, okay, and by the way, at the time, I didn't even know. I think I wasn't. I didn't even know if Shy Souls was. I thought like just from the name, I always thought Shy Souls was a girl. Like from seeing the name in chat, like certain names you think is a girl, and then other names you think is a guy, and then like there's a few times where it turns the opposite. Like who was it? I think Pokey Gaga was one of them. Like I always thought that was a girl, and it turns out to be a dude. Yeah. Um. Oh, but yeah, that wasn't all he said. He was like, he just started. Like I said, we're sitting there talking about Creep Show, and then we're sitting there talking about. All right, yeah. Excuse me. We're talking about Creep Show, and he starts. All of a sudden, I start seeing. If, like when I first saw his name, I was like, "Oh hey," I'm like, "Oh hey, Shy Souls." I just said hi, but then I was like, "Wait, what?" Like it's not up there anymore. But but like when I watched the replay, I was like, "What the fuck?" Because at first I was like, "Oh hey, Shy Souls." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Because he just started saying he like literally just typing the word. He's like gay, 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 uh, queer, LGBTQ. I'm queer. I'm gay. What do you think about LGBT? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I even asked, I'm like, what are you doing that for? I'm like, what's the reason for that? Or yeah, huge ass, I think is the one I'm thinking of. Or both of yeah, there was a few where you thought you could like it was a girl and then it turned out to be a guy. Um yeah. Well fuck you, Gemini, for doing that bullshit. What the fuck? Well, you better talk to Becky and get this shit straightened out then, because this is your fault. I already knew it anyway, but you know. But the other weird thing about this is like I said, I talked to Becky since this. Talked like for like a half hour on the phone a few days ago. But my last and then like I've sent messages and voice clips since then. But then over the course of days, like it adds up. So I just deleted a bunch of them and then sent her a couple messages and a couple short voice clips. So I'm waiting for her to listen to those and respond. Um, but hold on one second. And so I'm just waiting for her to respond. But at first, damn, my fucking head keeps itching at one spot. Uh, so at first she whatchamacallit, she banned me on the Discord and in the Reddit, but then but I noticed I was still a mod on her channel. But then I think what it was when she banned me on Discord and Reddit, she just forgot to do it on YouTube as well and didn't notice right away because it was after we talked. I'm thinking to myself, damn, Becky, like we just talked for like a half hour and shit about all sorts of shit. And then you fucking unmod me like after we talked. I'm like, what the fuck? And then there too, I didn't do anything to get unmodded. Uh did Becky contact you about doing a show with Suffer Horse? Yes. Becky has been very sick, so if she don't get back to you, I know. Like I said, I haven't been fully watching since this happened. More or less been tuning in here and there, but like the last couple shows, I watched more or less the whole thing. And I know that Roxy, freaking Roxy, I know she unhid me as well because I was messaging with her a bit as well. But yeah, Becky did mention that, and I did bring it up here on the stream. I did talk about that. Uh, and she also said it on she said it last night during the stream. She mentioned it for other shows, but I told Becky when we were talking on the phone, I said, I've never had any like contact with Suffolk. Like, I don't know anything about them. Never message. I just know from what I've seen in chat, and that's about it. But but I told her in one of these voice clips too, and I said it here in the chat a while ago. But like based on what I've seen from when he came on panel the other day, from what I've seen, if that's how he is on camera, yeah, a show wouldn't work with him because I was like, I don't know about that. He's too, like I said, he was like real shy. Speaking of shy, he was just like real shy and quiet and like kind of awkward and stuff. Like, I need somebody that's gonna, like match my energy and like be able to run a stream and run OBS and interact with chat and read chat and read donos and set goals and do IRL and go places and be funny and like try to, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like I can host a show. I can do all that. So because at first I was thinking if I did do a show on Becky's network, like I would maybe want to just rather be a co-host. I could host, but because her idea was to kind of like have somebody to go back and forth. But if I start to veer off a certain way, that he'll be there to course correct me. He wants to be the Becky and he wants you to be the Roxy where you do funny stuff. Yeah, yeah, no. I don't know. He just seemed too like I don't know, shy, nervous, something. And the other thing, aside from all the stuff that I mentioned, I want somebody that has experience on camera, YouTube experience, experience filming and making content. And, you know, I could totally come up with ideas. Showing when I didn't try out for like this is going back a little bit. I never officially tried out for Madhouse, but I was talking to Jaffe behind the scenes. I even came like while I was watching a show one day, I came up with a whole page of fucking show notes and show ideas, literally a whole page, and that was just in the time of watching one stream. But then and because at that time it was the three of them, and they didn't need a fourth co-host or a fourth host. And then he ended up getting fired and fucking show canceled on air. I was watching that day when that happened. Okay, if you're not shy, how much a donation? How much? Man, get out of here, dude. No, no, no. Besides that, I don't have any. Well, I could put music on, just not like because you need copyright free music, but I don't even have any of that set up, honestly. But don't see talking about going off course. Don't take me off course like that. I even just forgot what the hell I was talking about. What the fuck? Uh, what was I talking about? Anyways, I don't know. Uh, damn. I just completely fucking had a complete brain fart there. Hold on a second. I'm gonna see what Thor's doing. Oh shit. Yeah, he's laying down all balled up on the couch. He did wake up. I love it when my cat Thor when he's sleeping like that, and then I go over by him and when he wakes up, he's like he does his cute little noises. Uh Anyhow, yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, Suffer Horse, I don't know. If I don't know I don't know how that worked, but that would be a little ways down the line. Oh, I know what I was saying about the Madhouse shit. Damn. Uh yeah, so I wasn't straight away trying out for Madhouse, but kind of like maybe, something down the line, but then he got fired and the show was canceled. And then they came out with fucking Locale Dark, which they didn't even have a theme for it first. And I was thinking that it was gonna be like a predecessor to Madhouse, which was like, because the only reason I was trying out more or less for that to begin with was because I thought that it was gonna be like Madhouse, which is like around the stuff that I'm into, like I'm not so much into paranormal, but that's one of the things. But like, paranormal and conspiracy theories and, fucking horror and shit like that. But then they did tryouts for Dark when they didn't even have a theme for it yet. And I went on the first night. Uh, Billy came up at one point. Rastov was hosting it. Rastov was hosting it with Tech, and then Billy was up there when I was up there, and then I made it to round two. They were gonna do a couple days of tryouts, and then do a fucking They were gonna do a round two of it, like the following week, and that's before I knew OBS and stuff like that. And Tech was like, "Do you think you could have everything set up by then?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." And shit. But then Dark turned into damn dolls. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm not a damn doll. So what the hell? and and then that was it. You sent me a dono. Fuck. Is this phone dead? I see. I don't have a webcam. It is dead. I don't have a webcam, but I'm actually using my main phone, which is actually better than a webcam. I have an Android, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and if you don't have a webcam for your PC, there's a workaround for that. There's an app called Droid Cam. You got to have it on your phone and on the PC, and it turns your phone into a webcam. However, at first, I only had video and I just could not get audio to work. I don't like it wouldn't pick up the camera from the phone. And I use my phone for all my content on YouTube, and my video, even the front facing camera is always, even the footage after it renders, it's always 2160p, 4K, 60 FPS. It always looks really good, sounds really good, but the audio would not, it just wouldn't. So then I finally, but I needed a mic anyway because I was using a Bluetooth wireless gaming headset before, and the audio was choppy. But I got this HyperX Quadcast S, and seems to be doing the job. And I've really tweaked the fuck out of the settings to get it right. And these headphones are pretty good too. They're wired, Razer Kraken V3 or some shit like that. All right, we're gonna be going offline here for a second. Here, go look at that. While I look at this. Dance train. Listen here, dude. How the fuck am I gonna do it? Okay. Well, I don't know what you expect for that, but and I don't have any music anyway. What the hell? All right, hold on a second. Let me go get my dance partner. You know what? I got an idea. You know what I'll do? Give me a minute. We're gonna do this $5 holla over here. Damn. When did that go off? All right, so this we're gonna do. We're gonna do a $5 holla over here. Okay. I'm gonna go grab my dance partner in a second, and I'm gonna put on TV. Turn on. Hey Gemini, you remember that? I don't know if you remember that Angry Grandpa video. It was an old one where Michael tricked Grandpa into thinking that the TV was voice activated. Damn. What is happening? He was tricking Grandpa that the TV was voice activated and shit when he just had the remote. And Grandpa's like, TV, turn on. So fucking funny. Yeah, I know. But okay, hold on a second. I have a TV stand like I have in the front room, and I've been in this house for a year and a half when I bought it, but I still haven't put the second TV stand together just because it's a pain in the ass. Along with my dresser and along with the other kitchen table, because all these things are like 100 fucking pieces. Let me grab YouTube. Move this. Do this. Oh Lord. Becky Boop. Let's see here. Hold on. Alright, I'm gonna pause this. Alright, god damn it. And I'm gonna go grab my dance partner. You better do more than this. Come on, Dono, train for some dancing, motherfuckers. And I'll have to. I don't know how that's gonna work though, because unless this phone turns on, because I'm gonna have to stop and read it. And anyways, let me grab my dance partner. Oh, I feel bad because he was sleeping. He turns down a little bit so he doesn't get scared. All right, send some more. Tell him, Thor. Sing it. Boop. All right, that's it. I feel like an idiot. Thor's not having it either. I don't dance, as you can tell. I can't believe it. Of all people, I just did that for you. What the fuck? Oh, look at Thor. He's looking at the stars falling. Oh. Look at the crown. It's like perfect. It's right over his little king head. Oh. What do you think, Thor? Oh, there you go. Oh, all right. That's agreeable. Oh, Lord. I'm going glitchy again. Oh, Jesus. I can't wait to watch this replay. Oh, God. Yeah, and obviously, I am not a dancer. You know what's funny though? The last few weddings I was at, I didn't dance. Like after X amount of drinks, I kind of wanted to. You get like that itch, but I was like still holding back. I'm like, eh. But my brother just got married, and I got really drunk, and I don't get drunk. Like I don't get drunk like that no more. When I drink, I just drink to get a buzz. And freaking whatchamacallit, I got pretty damn buzzed. And I ended up fucking dancing like a lot. I can't wait to see these videos and pictures. I saw some of the pictures, but not of the dancing and shit like that. Gemini, you still in here? You better have been in here and seen all that. God damn it! Or did you just come in here to clip that and leave? Okay. Uh, God, so cringy. Why did I do that? Look at Thor. Look at him. Hold on, we're going glitchy. Look, he's just looking at Roxy and Becky. Yeah, Thor likes to watch TV. He likes to watch TV and he likes to watch video games, especially Red Dead Redemption 2. He loves his little horsey friends. Like I on my channel too, I have a video of him watching my horse on the game. It's really cute. Oh, it's really cute actually. But anyways, I think we're gonna wrap this up here. Right, Thor? I gotta give him his we're gonna keep that on. I gotta give him his pills shortly anyway. Mr. Thor here is I've talked about him before, and he's been on the channel before in other videos with me and stuff, but Thor is he's a rescue. I adopted him a little over a year ago. He's about 5 years old now, but he has a form of epilepsy and he has seizures. He's on two different medications, anti-seizure medication. One of them is a narcotic and the other one is not. But we have it took some trial and error to get the right dosage and things like that, but he's good now. Like this form of epilepsy, like you can't actually pinpoint for some reason what type it is, and it's the same thing in humans. You can't pinpoint what type of epilepsy it is, but you can only rule out other things. And one thing with it, they just happen. Like there can be external factors that cause it. Like I'm not going to get into the whole shit with that, but they just happen. So sometimes he'll not have any, and then he'll go a month and a half without having any, and then all of a sudden he'll have clusters, like one after another. But they're not typical seizures, like with convulsions and things like that. Like most videos and things I've seen, he just kind of, oh, whatever. I don't want to get into all that, but he's on medication to control it, and it's working pretty good. And he's looking really healthy. He's really active, like any normal cat. He's gotten bigger lately, actually. Since I've had him, he's gained about 3 pounds in total because he was not treated well. The people that had him. These are the type of people they are. He's like the sweetest little boy in the world. He's the sweetest cat ever. So loving and stuff. And the people he was rescued from a God, why can't I think? Whoever had him before dropped him off at it was like an animal shelter, but it's one of the ones that, like, if they're not taken within a certain amount of time, that they put them down. So what kind of a fucking nut would not care about him that much to leave him somewhere to where if someone doesn't get him, they're going to put him down? What I could do to those people and people like that, people that harm animals, they're on another level of disgusting. But yeah. So anyway, and I don't think he was treated well. He was underweight, and I think that's why he has these seizures to begin with. Because I think whoever had him like scared the hell out of him and would startle him and stuff because he was afraid of everything for a while. But then after a while of trusting me and being comfortable around me, he like his whole personality changed. He just did a big yawn. Look at him. He's looking at you right now. You can't see it because the screen's too bright, but it's Becky, Roxy, and you on the bottom. He's staring at you. That's the one that tried to set up Daddy, Thor. What do you think about that? Anyways. All right then. Well, okay. So yeah. What do you call it? A recap of the stream is I talked about my experience in the LCU along with a bit of the BBU and just everything as a whole, and then got some drama situated with Mr. Gemini here, and yeah, I think that's about it. What do you think, Gemini? You don't say. Anyway, guys. All right, I'm gonna end this. Very good. Yeah, for now, I'm all cool with you too until you pull your next stunt. I don't know. Even Becky says you're a troublemaker. She said that tonight on stream. But anyways, for anybody else that watches the replay for this tomorrow or whatever, my normal viewers, I'm gonna be I have plenty of God, I don't know how many times I've taken my hat off and then on back on. I have quite a bit of mask content on the way. I have a shitload of masks I still have never done videos for. I have thousands of comics, so there's always stuff for me to do as far as basically I'm just showing comic covers like Spawn issues 1 through 30 or something shit like that, or like the black suit Spider-Man, like the symbiote, which is the Venom, turns into Venom later. But like all the main black, Spider-Man black suit covers and shit like that. Anyways, more mask and comment. More It's too late, I can't talk. More mask and comic content coming up. Along with some more movie prop replicas, like I showed this before on stream, just because it's sitting here. But this is the Lament configuration box from Hellraiser. Just stuff like that. I never did a video for. I mean, it'd be a short video, but a lot of prop replicas to make videos for, and then of course my normal gaming live stream that I do pretty much every night. I cycle between a few games, but typically most often Warzone. And then also I cycle between that, GTA 5, Red Dead 2, different Mortal Kombat games, stuff like that. And then now streaming, which I'm going to be doing a lot more often of. Not necessarily talking about the LCU. I'm probably about done with that unless something else comes up. I pretty much summed everything up here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So anyway, if you enjoyed the stream, I can't wait. I just like. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the stream, go ahead and hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe, and if you are subscribed, be sure to hit that notification bell and set it to all so you get notified every time I upload a new video. If you want to continue to see more content like this, then stick around and you will definitely see some more. And then we will see me and Thor. Thor and I will see you later.